Hey everybody, how are you? It's Allison, your kitchen and bath design specialist and mentor slash coach and teacher for all things kitchen and bath related. Well, I hope that you are all hanging where we don't know where we stand so far as a country regarding our election. Let me just share this link for everybody in my group. Um, yeah, where are we going as a country? To be. This is the craziest election I have ever been involved with in my whole time. I've been voting since I'm 18 years old, so just a couple times. One thing I know about me is no matter how hard I try to be serious and I try to have a conversation about serious business things or an example about something about me or just commenting in general, I always end up finding something to laugh about, something to smile about, laugh about, make a funny. It's just who I am and how I get through life. I don't always feel that way inside. In fact, right now I'm having a hard time fighting my winter depression, which I tend to get slipped down a little bit into depression. Plus, we have all of this coronavirus, which is adding to all the other pressure subconsciously if we are in feeling depressed or feeling down. I think that the time now with this pandemic is only making it worse. So we have to try really, really hard to bring each other together and pick each other up and hold ourselves together. And when I was thinking about what to talk about today, about what's new, because we still have a country undecided, it's coming together. I don't even want to look at the news. We're all in a bit of a tither here in the United States, I guess. So I wanted to think about, what am I going to talk about? What is new and what is relevant and what is something that could be of information to my friends in the group, my posse, my people. And I was thinking about where my life has been and where I am now. And when you think about lessons in life, let's think about lessons in life, because we all have degrees of lessons in life. And the more lessons you have, the better you are, whether they're a good lesson, a hurtful lesson, a painful lesson, a joyful lesson. Each lesson leaves an imprint and it creates who you are. It shapes who you are. So how you thought 10 years ago is not necessarily how you think now, because you've had lots of life lessons and life situations. And I tend to be the optimistic person. I like to laugh. I like to have fun. I like to think about positivity because the alternative is negativity, and that just makes me feel really bad. It's negativity is draining and consuming and smothering. So I like to choose positivity and optimism. And if you guys know me, I always say, smile, smile, smile. That's my thing. And I was talking to somebody about my finances, and I found myself, even at the end with everything, I just have to laugh. Ha ha ha. Oh, ha ha ha. No, it could be like this. Ha ha ha. I feel, will people take me seriously or not? And I thought, you know what? Stop questioning myself. Stop overthinking things and just be in the moment, be who you are, be present. and be okay with yourself and who you are and what you feel, and learn from the other people around you, and keep your mind and eyes open to all the lessons that life has to throw our way. And I've had some really, really major big lessons, and I've overcome some really difficult personal things, but I feel I'm calmer now, in the way that I feel. I feel calmer and less stressed. Like when something happens, I don't automatically go, ah. I can kind of rationalize it, bring it into perspective, and think about it, and then give myself a minute to feel that way and feel good to myself, feel true to myself, and get the mindset of following inner. So then I said, well, what am I going to talk about today again? Let's see how we're doing on Facebook. Let's take a little jump in there, up in here, up in here. And let me just go back. Just give me a minute to do a little housekeeping. A little view, make sure I'm live. Oh, I've got one person watching me. So anyway, I said, since this pandemic, things have really, really changed. What's happened in the last few months? Can you believe it started in February and here we are in November, and we had no idea that this was going to happen? How could anybody have a clue that this was going to happen? Never in our life have we ever had a pandemic or a plague or when? Never. Nobody could have predicted this. How it came about, where it is, who's at fault, what's the matter, we should have acted sooner. We don't know who knew what to do. We're in an age right now of uncertainty, and nobody really has an answer 100%. We all want someone to have an answer, but they don't have an answer. So in the meantime, we have to just go through our day by day and try and live each day in its fullest and to the best of our ability, and look forward to tomorrow and be optimistic about tomorrow. And I wanted to see, well, where have we come when we started? I went to the Kitchen and Bath Industry Show in January, and I saw such color and such vibrance. That was what I noticed from the Kitchen and Bath Show, was a lot of purple sinks, a red faucet, brass, blackened brass, really bold colors. Not so much our muted grays and muted browns, but really getting blue into the kitchen cabinetry, colored kitchen cabinetry. So there was, to me, with all of that color, is a lot of optimism and a lot of cheer, because the colors influence our feelings subconsciously, how colors make us feel. The blue is the sky because blue is calming. Blue is the favorite color of the entire world because it's very calming. So we all look for calm. Green is very nature. It's very fresh air feeling, and that's why the trees are green, the grass is green. So the sun is yellow. It makes us feel warm and cheery and bright. So colors influence us, our emotions. We all know that as designers, to choose your colors are very important for the food. It's important for your surroundings. It's important for the lighting. So colors really are the first thing we see. Saw so much KBIS, so much optimism, so much, everybody was really looking forward to starting 2020 because it sounded like a good number. It felt good to everybody, but Mother Nature sidetracked us to the basics, to what's really, really important. How we live our life, how we have entertain with our family, how we go out to eat, how we go to the grocery store. We've had to rethink everything. So I went back to the Kitchen and Bath Business magazine and I found the article from April, and it was the beginning of the pandemic. So I just wanted to kind of like review where we've been through a couple of articles in the Kitchen and Bath Business magazine. And in the beginning, we were all thinking, well, we have to slow down and we're going to have to change going to work. We're going to take a minute and rethink things. So people got out of work. People were quarantined, lots going on. And the articles in the first April issue were about making the most of our extra time. And Brian Greisman from Olympic Cabinetry said, this slowdown, as long as it's not too long, will help me tremendously. I can get organized, cleaned up, and caught up. Okay, and then optimism in times of stress is a very powerful tool, says Michael Kastner from Kastner Designs in Philadelphia. Yes, optimism is a very powerful tool in times of stress and to repel negativity. And that resonates with me as well, because I like to repel negativity and also smile. It was so nice to see this article because this is how I feel, or his little passage that he wrote here, because he says, did you know that people can actually hear you smile over the phone? So he said, try it sometime. And then, for example, wear that smile when you're trying to calm down a difficult client during a stressful phone conversation. And you might be surprised at what happens. But your attitude when you smile, the endorphins and the muscles that are in your face affect your whole mental state. So I always say, turn that frown upside down and smile, 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 because it really does make the other person feel better and it makes you feel better. So in the beginning, we were trying to make the best of our time, thinking we're going to get organized. We're all going to clean out that closet. We're all going to get down to what really happens. And perhaps, as Cheryl Keys from In Detail Interiors said, they were not busy for a month, and we have to do so. They have so much to do at the shop that they were busy all the full time. They never had time to get to the shop. So now they can include physical things, but also website tasks and internal organization tasks. And then her office has been under tremendous remodeling for months, and we now have time to finish it. So this was in April. And then we're talking about in May, we're talking about choosing the glass half full. Again, focusing on optimism. Oh, hi, Colin. And hi, Facebook user. So we're all talking about choosing the half glass full. And my motto was always say, listen, I got a glass. At the end of the day, whether it's empty or it's full, I still have that glass. And I can fill it up or I can empty it out, but it's my glass. So how I choose to fill it is my prerogative. And I choose to fill it with optimism. And so choosing the half glass full. And April was stressful for all of us, some more than others. Some found peace and fulfillment. Some people got organized. Some people are focusing on healing themselves emotionally and physically. And things are navigating the change. How quickly everything changed from February to April to May. How quickly masks were on the shelf. How quickly the ads were changing about on television, and television programs and songs and commercials were changed and altered to reflect the new reality. So quickly it happened, so quickly. And here we are, we're walking around, the kids have masks that fit them. We have masks with hearts on them, or dog prints, or leopard pattern, my favorite pattern, leopard pattern. So all of that change happened really, really quickly. So in May, we were navigating change really rapidly and trying to highlight all of the new products that we saw in KBIS, because we can't see them in any show after KBIS. That was it. All the shows, the industry shows, were shut down. So the importance of online video chatting and online Zoom meetings, online CEU events, because, just because we can't see each other and we can't get together in a group doesn't mean we don't need to have our CEUs to keep our accreditations and to keep on top of product and on top of innovating. Because just because the pandemic hit doesn't mean the world came to a complete halt. So we have this optimism and innovation. And then we start talking about health and safety and opportunity. This is in the July-August issue. So now it's gearing towards our health, because who knew this was going to take so long? So now we're suddenly talking about wellness and homeschooling and keeping healthy while we're at home, and you can't go to work. You have to work remotely. So ways to keep healthy at home, because the gyms are closed and dance classes closed. So there's a lot. Even going to the grocery store here in New York, you can't go into any store without a mask, and I'm okay with that. So we have moving to safety and health and opportunity. So much opportunity has come out of this pandemic for the webinars, for the online social media, for the different platforms, for product innovation, for merchandise to become available and have been changed and modified to reflect the new now, the new normal, which now we're saying it's the new normal. Hopefully it's a temporary new normal and we can get back to some kind of remnants of what it was prior to the pandemic, although we should all keep that wash your hands, sing happy birthday and wash your hands. I don't think that should go away. And possibly the handshake. Let's consider handshake, elbow punch, bowing. How are we all going to change during that? And what I'm finding is, I did a webinar back in April with the Interior Design Society, and I said my webinar was about kitchens, the coming kitchens to come, because I said everyone who is stuck at home with the kitchen that was falling apart or the bathroom that they couldn't stand is now where you could get out of the house and not worry about it. Now you're home. So what's happened? The kitchen design business has flown through the roof. I have vendors back ordered to 12 to 14 weeks when it should have been a 6-week lead time. We've got appliances across the United States on back order. We've got dealers doing record number of business of kitchen and bathroom renovation. We've got people expanding their backyard, including designing outdoor spaces with a barbecue and a fire pit to extend our living outside the house. We've designing multi-generational households. Perhaps it's better to live with your mother now than not being able to see her. You guys know I had to go to North Carolina to see my mother. Luckily, she lives with my sister in North Carolina, and she might not think it's such a great thing, but I miss my mother. I miss my sisters. I miss my friends. I miss everybody. But we try and keep sane in the meantime. So I find that everybody we had our little glitch, and then we came together as a country, as a world, realizing we're in this together. We developed new attitudes, or we enhanced attitudes of positivity and health and wellness and clean product. The clean product and organic things has been on the rise for the last few years, but it's becoming even more prevalent because now we all have to spend so much time in our own residence, whether it's an apartment building or a home or wherever you are, on a farm, in a multifamily dwelling. There's all different things changing to the way we view our interior. And the kitchens and the bathrooms, what's great about being a kitchen and a bathroom designer is our job increases the value of the home, increases the value of the property, so that our services are very, very, very valuable and really, really needed at this time of the pandemic and in the way that everything is changing. So we don't know how long this is going to take. We can all hope and pray there's a vaccine soon. We, all have to just hope and pray everybody's doing the best they can. And what's happening are the technologies of touchless technology. I think that the touchless is going to expand into the residential bathrooms. Like I'm working on a bathroom now with our technology being, all touchless in the bathroom for health and wellness and not spreading germs. And the toilets with the bidet being more commonly spec'd in our projects, because realizing the energy efficiency of where we all had that run on toilet paper. You know what? If you had a bidet, you wouldn't really have to worry about the toilet paper and as much. You wouldn't have to be a toilet paper hoarder. I never was a toilet paper hoarder. That's okay. I always have faith that, it's going to be there tomorrow. And sometimes that might even come back to bite me in the tuchus. It'll be there tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But so when Superstorm Sandy hit, I ran out of gas in my car, right on the line for the gas. There was all big long lines. We were waiting for the gas. So I had to wait online, and my gas died. My car died for lack of gas. So I don't always prepare myself as much as I can, to the point, I guess I'm trying to say is, we try our best to keep positive and to be positive and to keep a positive attitude and do our very best in design and for our clients and for other people, I think. But it's taking care of ourselves that can sometimes be the neglect, that we kind of feel we don't need to take care of ourselves. We don't need to put the time into designing our own kitchen, our own living room, because we're more concerned about other people, our clients' happiness, our clients' outcome, how are our reputation for our business. So instead of getting so consumed with thinking about the business and other people, let's take a minute to focus on ourselves and taking care of ourselves, and realizing just because we're taking care of ourselves does not mean we are neglecting the needs of others. Does not mean we are neglecting the needs of others. We have to remember to keep ourselves present and paramount in our self, because self-love, self-help, all about the self is really important, especially during these times, trying to keep ourselves positive and optimistic and healthy and influential and still educated for our business. it can be overwhelming, and you could get lost, like who is inside can get lost along the way. So you have to take a minute, especially during these difficult times, like I do, because I suffer from slight depression, especially seasonal. I have to take a minute and remind myself, hey, listen, it's not that bad. It's going to be okay. You're a good person. Let's feel good. Let's feel optimistic. And let's take care of my little Idaho. So you need to take care of your little Idaho also, while taking care of your customers and remaining on top of the business, and perhaps being busier than ever right now because of the pandemic and people renovating and the industry booming the way that it is. Whoever would have thought that it would be as fast growing? I thought it would have taken longer for the boom in renovation to hit, but it was really quick, and everybody's back ordered, everybody's scrambling. So what I do find positive coming out of all of this is the way that, as industry people from within the kitchen and bath industry, how we are pulling together as a cohesive industry, really dialogue with each other, supporting within the industry very much through online video, emails, education, webinars. There's such more meaning in it now than there was in the last past year. There's so much more. We're all looking for that sense of connecting. And that's the hardest part, I think, is especially if you're working from home and you work by yourself. It's a matter of connecting with other people for our own sanity. People do need people. We need to keep abreast on all of the new things going on, keep up with all the trends. It's nice to see that through the pandemic, there has been this innovation, there has been movement to support each other and educate each other and share with each other, and just trying to remain positive. So that's pretty much preparing to have my mom move in. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of changes. You got a lot of people in the city moving out. A lot of people, a lot of people moving out of the city, a lot of people moving into the suburbs, a lot of people moving out of the state. So you've got a lot of things changing, making the household multi-generational. So there's been an innovation of product, so that if you have your elderly parent living with you and they might have some more physical limitations than you, a nice, I just saw this beautiful shower seat that's very sleek and contemporary looking. It's not obtrusive. The picture doesn't, I couldn't show you the picture because it's so small. And I was like, well, I can't see the picture. So normally I show you guys pictures, but I couldn't show it to you because the picture was too small. And we even have still luxury. I think people are really spending on their home and the luxury of appliances. We need to teach them about the luxury of good cabinetry and good countertop material and good backsplash design, etc. So yeah, what's happening how have you seen things change in your personal life? I find I'm much busier than I was. And even the only time I really had time to work on what I was doing was when I was home quarantining. And I really didn't get to all of the cleaning that I wanted to do. A lot of people, did, and a lot of people didn't. We all handle things in our own way. But remember that we're coming together and supporting each other and joining as a community. I've never seen anything like this in my years of doing business within the kitchen and bath and interior design world. Such a cohesiveness and a collaborative and camaraderie and support through the industries crossing over, kitchen design, bathroom design, interior design, architecture, product development. It's really great to see all the new innovations coming out of this and how we're all going to make it into the future, what's going to be happening in the future. So that was what I was going to talk about today, how the progression of the Kitchen and Bath Business magazine came through where we are now, in another age of uncertainty and what's going to be happening to the United States. So it's a weird day. I was going to talk about me and like my life and how I got started and some of the things that have happened to me along the way. Maybe I'll tell one story. When I was 35, I have a history of tumors in my parotid gland, that's the salivary gland, and I had 3 operations on my gland. And I was going to have, I was almost close to having surgery, but the doctor canceled the surgery, and he said the risks outweigh the benefits because of the risk of paralyzation. I would become paralyzed because I have so much scar tissue. So for a few years, I didn't do anything, and I could feel the tumor because I could really physically feel it. And it was growing ever so slightly, the cyst. So one day, XYZ happens. I talked to so-and-so. She has this thing, It can spread to other parts of your body. So she suggested to me that I go back and revisit the doctor. And this time I went to Sloan Kettering. So 35 years old, I go to Sloan Kettering. I'm a single mother. I've been divorced since I'm 27 years old. My daughter was 5 years old when I got divorced, and I raised her as a single parent. So I did whatever it took to take care of her, maintain the household, and was a single income family. You know, the divorced single parents are the lowest economic status. So anyway, I went to Sloan Kettering. I was single at the time. I didn't have a boyfriend or seeing anybody, but I had good girlfriends. And when I went to Sloan Kettering, they took a CAT scan of my face, my head and my upper chest, and they found I had a tumor in my lung. So here I am, 35 years old, 36. Yeah, that was 1988. So 36. I was 36. So here I am. I find out not only do I have this, which needs to be addressed because the tumor just grows. It grows around your facial nerve like this, and it grows all around. The tumor grows. So the tumor's gray, the nerves are gray, everything is gray, the tissue is gray. So the doctors don't know if you're going to have paralysis or not until after the surgery. They can do as best they can, but they don't know how paralyzed you are once they take away all of the tumor. So I've got that going on, and then I find out I have a tumor in my lung. And the Dr. Strong from Sloan Kettering says, well, you need to take care of this first because this could possibly kill you because we don't know what it is. Or it could be this tumor spreading to other parts of your body, which it's known to do. And if it has spread, then that's a completely different surgery, and I would have half my neck cut out. So here I am going to work. I'm at Home Depot, and I have all of this going on. My friends coming with me to Sloan Kettering, and this feeling of I'm going to have a heart attack before I die of anything else. So I had that life-opening lesson of why is this happening to me? How did it affect other people? And spiritually and emotionally, I learned to think in and get down to my inner feelings. So that's one thing that I learned the hard way. So I get have in touch with my feelings, not dismissing my first feeling. So I go through, now I have to go through this, and I got the doctor from the one, it was a nightmare. It's a huge story. But anyway, I went over here to Winthrop Hospital, and I have a very nice thoracic surgeon, because apparently a lung doctor is called a thoracic surgeon. And at 36 years old, I learned that it's called a thoracic surgeon, a lung surgeon. Okay, it's thoracic. I had no idea until I needed one. So I had the surgery on my lung in November of 1998. So we're going on, yeah, it'll be actually, it's probably almost, it'll be a year around the 16th of November. It's going to be 22 years since I had that surgery, which was one of the most painful surgeries I ever had in my life, because I've had quite a bit of surgeries. It still bothers me today. But then, so I was healing in November, and in December and in January, I was going in for this surgery here on my face. And I did get partially paralyzed. I was paralyzed on my mouth, was paralyzed for about 3 months. And I would pray and I would hope, and I would just, do my mouth exercises and say, well, you know what, God, if this is it, if this is the worst of the paralysis that I'm going to have, then thank God for that, and I'll take it. I will be happy with that, because the outcome could have been much worse. And I had faith, and I was willing to feel okay with that inside. I learned to feel what's really important, to feel my inner voice, to feel how I needed to take care of myself. And I don't ever think everybody gets that lesson. Some people get that lesson and some people don't get that lesson. We all have different lessons that we have to learn, but that's what I learned, and I changed because of that. So I had this life-changing event, and I really learned how to focus in on myself. And I'm using that lesson, those lessons, to really, I've used it throughout my career when I'm designing, and I'm calling on it even more now because of this pandemic going on and the feeling of dread that we can all get. And I have learned to take that all out of the equation and bring it back to that center core, which is myself and how I feel inside. So I can do that within myself, but I also need the support of other people around me, and to know that I'm not alone, and to know that we are part of a village and not part of our own little self. So realizing what's important to yourself, especially now, learning to feel the genuine happiness within your own self. I hope that everybody can get that lesson in their life. And it's also, it's not always found with a good circumstances. The lessons are usually found because of tragedy. The lessons are found because of devastation, of loss, of struggle. The lessons come out of the difficulties. And when you can get your difficulties under control and try and think about more of the optimism, and think that you're part of the greater good, then we can all turn around and help each other and be a really great society. So I don't even know if I'm making sense from what I'm saying. I don't even know if it resonates with anybody, but that's one of my major stories about how I changed as a person, and how I feel about the future, and how I really have learned to love myself and care about myself. And in these times, I need to rely on other people to help me, to know that, I've got people who can count on me, and give myself a mission for the future. And you all know my mission is to bring kitchen and bathroom design to the skill level that all designers should be. So I've been rambling. Perhaps you've learned something about me, about where I come from and what my attitude is. And where we've come as the industry within the last few months and how everything is changing. And we're talking about health and wellness now, and multifamily, and just overall the environment, and so many things affecting us in our daily lives and building up on our home and our own careers. So I want to wish everybody well today. On the 18th, I'm going to be having a webinar as an introduction, a free webinar um, about what's the Kitchen and Bath Design Academy cabinet construction standards course going to be all about. So I'm going to give you a little glimpse into what the whole course is about. I'm going to have a free webinar. I hope you'll all join me on the free webinar where I'm going to teach one of the lessons about cabinetry. And there's so much to know. So it's more of the technical details, but that'll be on the so on the 18th, not next Wednesday, but the week next Wednesday after. I'm not going to have What's New Wednesday. I'm going to have Wednesday Webinar Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that so you can register for it. All right, thanks for listening to me blab and blab and blab and talk. I've realized I can keep on talking even if no one else is there. Okay, guys, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. And let's all just keep on keeping on. Peace out. Ciao for now.